All right, let's get right into it. We're all hearing about AI constantly, but there's a quiet revolution happening that you might not see. It's not about one giant, super smart AI. It's about whole teams of them working together in the background to run some of the most complex systems on Earth. I mean, you've definitely been there, right? You go to a store or you're online, ready to buy something you really want. Running shoes, a new gadget, whatever. And it's gone. The shelf is empty. It feels so random, but that one little out-of-stock item, it's actually a tiny symptom of a massive global puzzle. And it's a puzzle that companies are now unleashing armies of AI agents to solve. And this brings us to a really interesting problem that's happening right now. We're in a full-blown generative AI gold rush. Billions are being poured into this tech, but a lot of companies are hitting a brick wall. They call it the Gen AI paradox. You have all this incredible technology, all this potential, but it's just not connecting to real, measurable results. So how in the world do you bridge that gap? Well, the answer is to completely change how you think about AI. Stop imagining one single all-knowing brain. Instead, think of it like a digital project team. It's a huge shift from having a solo artist to having a whole crew of specialized AI co-pilots all working together. Here's a simple way to picture it. A single AI, all on its own, can get stuck really easily. It's like asking one person to run an entire factory. They're going to get overwhelmed, they're going to make mistakes. But a multi-agent system? That works just like a great human team. You've got specialists, they talk to each other, they collaborate, and each one handles their piece of the puzzle. That's how you actually solve messy, real-world problems. So let's meet the players on this digital team. Up top, you've got the Pi agent. Think of Pi as the boss, the project manager. It's the executive brain. It doesn't do all the work itself, it delegates. It turns to Ron, the demand agent, and says, hey, figure out what people are going to want to buy. Then it pings Cassie, the inventory agent, to find out where all the stuff is. Meanwhile, Alex is crunching the numbers on the financial side, and Bob's got his eyes on the factory floor. Each one has a distinct job, and crucially, they're all in constant communication. Okay, so that all sounds pretty cool in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in practice? Let's track a simple, everyday purchase to see how this team gets the job done, buying a pair of sneakers. So here's Sally. She's got a marathon coming up, she needs a very specific pair of shoes, and of course, her local store is completely out of her size. This is that exact moment of frustration we started with. Now, in the old days, this is probably where the story would end. But for our AI team, this is just where the work begins. So this is where the magic happens, and it happens in steps. First, Ron, the demand agent, senses a spike in demand. And check this out. It's not just looking at old sales data, it's analyzing local info, like the fact that there's a marathon nearby, to actually predict the future. Instantly, Cassie, the inventory agent, finds Sally's shoes, but they're 200 miles away. That's when Pi, the boss, steps in. It simulates all the options and finds the cheapest, fastest way to get them to her. And finally, the whole system just does it. An order is created, and Sally gets a notification that her shoes are on the way. The most important part? No human had to log into 3 different systems and spend an hour figuring this out. The AI team just handled it. And you know, this isn't some black box magic. Under the hood, our agent Ron is running queries that look just like this. It's digging through huge amounts of data. This specific query is looking within a 3-kilometer radius of a store and literally counting the number of gyms and parks. It's using that real-world hyperlocal information to make its predictions way, way smarter. Okay, so we've seen what the team does. Now for the fun part. How does it all actually work? Because, you know, a brilliant team is totally useless if they can't communicate. Let's take a quick peek at the tech that makes this all possible. It all starts right here, with something called the master ledger. The biggest headache in any large company is that data is a mess. It's scattered everywhere. Sales info is in one system, inventory is in another, finance is somewhere else entirely. It's like everyone's reading from a different book. The master ledger fixes that. It pulls everything into one central place, creating a single source of truth that every single agent can rely on. Everyone is on the same page. The other piece of the puzzle is how these agents think. You see, if you just dump a ton of information on an AI model, it can get, well, overwhelmed. It's a real problem called lost in the middle, where it literally forgets its instructions. So to solve that, you use a clever technique called context engineering. It's basically like having a top-notch assistant prep a briefing for a CEO. It doesn't hand him a 1,000-page report. It pulls only the most critical pieces of info and puts it into a nice, tight, focused package. This lets the AI make a really smart decision really fast. So, what's the payoff for all this smart data and smart thinking? Well, you get to ask much, much better questions. You can move beyond the basic metrics, the stuff that's really just a simple health check, and start using advanced predictive metrics that actually help you make more money. You're no longer just asking, how did we do last month? You're asking things like, what is our inventory value at risk? Which is basically asking the AI to predict how much of the stuff in your warehouse is about to become worthless. Now that is a game changer. So when you put all of these pieces together, you've got the AI team, you've got the unified data, you've got the smart way of thinking, you end up with something that's genuinely transformative. You get the autonomous supply chain. And the difference is it's night and day. We're going from a system that's always reacting to problems to one that actually predicts them. We're moving from manual, human-driven processes to fully autonomous ones. And we're going from brittle, siloed systems that break under pressure to a collaborative, resilient network that can actually adapt when things go wrong. And the goal here isn't just to get a little bit better. The goal is near perfection. The ultimate measure of success is the perfect order rate, getting everything exactly right. The right product, right place, right time, perfect condition. The mission is to get that number to as close to 100% as humanly, or in this case, artificially, possible. So why does all of this matter? Well, for businesses, it's pretty obvious. You waste less, you lower your costs, you make more money. But for us, for the consumer, it means the end of that empty shelf frustration. It means the things we want are actually there when we want them. And bigger picture, it means a more efficient, less wasteful world, all powered by this invisible team of AI agents working 24/7. And I think this quote just perfectly captures the sheer scale of this ambition. This isn't about making a few small improvements. This is about a complete transformation. It's about turning the chaotic, disconnected flow of goods around the world into a single, intelligent, and self-driving ecosystem. And that, of course, leaves us with one final, pretty mind-bending thought. We just walked through how a team of AIs can manage the unbelievable complexity of a global supply chain. If they can master that, what's next? What parts of our world can't be run by teams like these? It's definitely something to think about.